Alrighty, y'all, we got some breaking news finally in the NBA. Josh Giddey has signed a 4-year, $100 million deal to re-sign with the Chicago Bulls. Sorry, I'm a couple hours late on this. The news broke while your boy was in the barber chair, and then he was going to play pickup afterwards. I wasn't about to drive home and then have to drive all the way back to go play pickup afterwards. Your boy just had other things to do, right? But anyway, this is pretty much what we expected, right? We actually guessed on the channel, at least I guessed on the channel, that it was going to be a 4-year, more so like 96 million. I was like, I think 24ish million. And looking back on that, that is kind of dumb. Like, because if you're going to give someone $24 million here, you might as well just give them 25 so they can say they got a $100 million contract. That's kind of how that works. I know it's just another $4 million in total, but yeah, that probably makes much more sense. The one thing that I am surprised by, no player option in it. I kind of figured that within this whole back and forth affair that was kind of going on. It was apparently a pretty messy negotiation or whatever. I kind of figured by the end his camp would, his being Giddey's, would allow him to kind of get a player option at the end, being like, look, if you're being so stingy with this guy that you traded for or whatever, that kind of balled out for you at the end of the year, then give him a player option, let him prove himself, and he can opt out in the last year and go get a bigger contract then. But no, I haven't seen anything like that whatsoever. And this is just like an objective viewpoint, right? Josh Giddey, probably the best player on the Chicago Bulls at this point, right? Obviously, we know what he did kind of post-trade deadline. He was phenomenal as a basketball player, like walking triple-double, hitting threes, doing everything for the team. That game winner was awesome. Always important to note in basketball that sometimes like the last 2 months of the season, or more often than not, aren't a great representation of what reality is, right? More often than not, teams, we've talked about it a lot on the channel, but teams are not necessarily scouting things the same. They're not necessarily playing people the same minutes. There's a lot of differences and things, right? So just a little bit of added context there. Now, it also does make a lot of logical sense that Giddey did start to play well at that time because they had moved on from Levine, and he kind of got to be more of the playmaker that he's supposed to be, and he does have a team around him that fits like his play style, get up and down the court, be the distributor, that kind of thing, right? All that's great. So Josh Giddey, he's going to be the point guard of the future for the Chicago Bulls. I'm going over to the off-season tracker here that we got, and I figure, you know what, fuck it. Let's just, let's get it updated and throw it onto there. Actually, I guess I don't want to do that. I should more so just do this. I don't actually. I do have Josh Giddey right here. Here we go. And so Josh Giddey, it's 25, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 million dollars, 4 right here. We're gonna move Javon Carter down a spot here, and the Bulls get to continue to build upon their all point guard team that eventually they will be able to put together. So there you go. This is the Chicago Bulls for the next season. $13 million away from the luxury tax. Probably destined for, I mean, if you guys have been watching my channel any amount of time, we just did a season preview. When was it? Yesterday on the Chicago Bulls. So you can go and watch that. People have actually enjoyed that one. I think they just enjoyed the Timothy Chalamet coverage of it. But I don't know, man. This team's going to be probably pretty slightly below average again. That's just kind of what it feels like 10, 11, 12 seeds somewhere in there, not quite good enough to get a top pick. Doesn't necessarily feel like the franchise is going anywhere, but for the foreseeable future, Josh Giddey is your point guard, which, again, I like Josh Giddey. I think he's a good basketball player. I enjoy watching the playmaking type of guards. I think he's a good decision maker. How much will he be able to do this year for this team? That's kind of yet to be seen. Maybe he'll be able to outplay this contract. I think that's more than possible because the $25 million a year, that's kind of like industry average for like starter level player right now in the NBA, which Josh Giddey certainly is. I know if you could look around and say, hey, the rest of the market didn't value Josh Giddey. It's like, well, it's not just like people have unlimited money to spend. That's kind of the difference with things, right? A lot of teams would like to have Josh Giddey, but they just don't have the money to give Josh Giddey what he wants, right? And so the two teams kind of met in the middle. Josh Giddey wanted the $30 million a year. The Bulls wanted to do 20. They met right in the middle. Good shit, right? I don't know why that took so long to figure out, but they just met in the middle. There you go. Nobody else was going to give Josh Giddey any thing anyway, like we said. It's good that they didn't take the qualifying offer. That would have looked really, really dumb for the Bulls, and that's kind of the negotiating edge that that Giddey's camp had over the Bulls. So they're like, okay, you traded Caruso for nothing then if we just take the qualifying offer and leave you guys next off season or whatever. And they're like, oh yeah, that would look really dumb of us, right? Which is totally something the Chicago Bulls would do, but you know, it is what it is, right? But again, just trying to be objective about things. I think it's a good contract. Josh Giddey very well could be outplaying that contract if he plays within a certain level, but Will the Bulls ever actually find success with Josh Giddey having to be like a 24 to 20 point a game scorer? I don't necessarily think so. I don't think that's how Josh Giddey's supposed to exist in this NBA, but you know, it is what it is. He's probably one of the few players that I actually enjoy watching on this team. I am a Bulls fan, for those of you that don't know. Not that that matters at all for my analysis or anything. If I could just talk about it, I guess, as a Bulls fan for a second, I'm excited to have him back in the team. Like I said, I don't really enjoy watching too many of these players. I mean, looking around, there's not too many of these guys I really look forward to watching. Giddey's one of the few that I actually enjoy, so there we go. I'm obviously rooting for everybody on the team, but, you know, just my thoughts and opinions on it, I suppose. But yeah, good job, Bulls. You did the one thing you were supposed to do this offseason, which was keep him around. So I guess that's cool. And I do think it's a good value contract. I think it's extremely fair for both sides. So there you go. Josh Giddey's there. We only have 2 more of the restricted free agents to go. We've got Quentin Grimes, and we've got Jonathan Kuminga. The Jonathan Kuminga one, I know you guys want to hear my take on where that's going to go. I have no idea. I'm just going to continue to say he should not be on this team going into next year. It's not going to be good for him. It's not going to be good for the Warriors. I can't believe they haven't figured out a way to get this guy off the team. I just don't think it's going to work. Like, if he ends up just taking like a qualifying offer or whatever, like, oh man, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I'd really like to see a sign and trade somewhere, and I feel like somebody could make it happen. I'm genuinely shocked the Bulls and them haven't been able to figure out something, but apparently the Bulls are kind of assholes with a lot of those negotiations or whatever. But I don't know, like, I just feel like you could flip him somewhere else. And I don't even necessarily, I don't want him on the Bulls either. Let me get that straight. I'm just surprised that hasn't happened more so, but you know, is what it is. Quentin Grimes, again, we've kind of been saying we're thinking like 4 years, $14 million-ish a year is kind of what we're thinking is going to happen for him. The difference with Quentin Grimes, one, obviously, like his scoring and everything is really cool. A bit of the injury history is a thing, but more importantly, the negotiating edge that the Sixers kind of have over Quentin Grimes to not give him like a $20-ish million a year contract is they're going to say, okay, let's say you take the qualifying offer, right? And you just come back and play for us. You got to deal with Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, VJ Edgecombe, who we just took. I mean, they're probably going to be, it sounds like they're going to try and trade Kelly Oubre and Andre Drummond soon to try and duck the tax so they can sign Quentin Grimes to something. So they might bring in another guard. Who knows? And then you kind of get stuck behind all those guys. So you might as well just take our long-term money offer now, which, I mean, yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Quentin Grimes could get screwed by the rotation if nothing else. So there you go. But yeah, good contract for Giddey. I don't have too much else to say about this, but yeah, pretty much exactly what we thought. Thanks as always, and yeah, stay tuned for another season preview video tomorrow. I don't even remember what team is coming out tomorrow, but it should be a fun, I don't know, it'll be a fun thumbnail, whatever it is. I'm having a lot of fun with these thumbnails, but all right, appreciate it, you guys. I'm gonna upload this shit now. Okay, bye.